히읗.
Irregular, Korean colors.
이렇다, 그렇다.
And
저렇다 소스, howtostudykorean.com.
below is a list of vocabularies to be used in this lesson. Vocabulary. Click on the English word to see information and examples of the word in use. You probably won't be able to understand the grammar within the sentences at this point, but it is good to see as you progress through your learning. A PDF file neatly presenting these words and extra information can be found here. Nouns.
초록색,
The color, green.
보라색,
The color, purple.
연두색,
The color, light green.
분홍색,
The color, pink.
갈색,
The color, brown.
회색,
The color, gray.
적색.
The color, red.
셔츠 이퀄 셔트 눈 이퀄 스노 눈보라 이퀄.
Blizzard, snowstorm.
뉴스 이퀄 뉴스 전쟁 이퀄 워어 작품 이퀄.
A piece of work.
날짜 이퀄 데이트 그릇 이퀄 볼등 이퀄.
One's back.
손등.
Back of hand.
손톱 이퀄 핀처네일 독자 이퀄 리더즈 부부 이퀄.
Couple, married couple. Verbs.
변경하다.
To change.
들르다.
To stop by.
내려오다.
To come down.
내려가다.
To go down.
드러내다.
To reveal. To show.
발표하다.
To announce. Passive verbs.
드러나다.
To be revealed. To be shown. Adjectives.
푸르다.
To be sea blue.
노랗다.
To be yellow.
빨갛다.
To be red.
하얗다.
To be white.
까맣다.
To be black.
파랗다.
To be blue.
섬세하다.
To be delicate. Adverbs and other words.
이런.
This kind of.
이렇게.
Like this.
그런.
That kind of.
그렇게.
Like that.
저런.
That kind of.
저렇게.
Like that.
대부분, 모스트 송이.
Counter for bunch. Flowers bananas.
종류.
Counter for a type kind of thing.
가지.
Counter for a type of thing. Introduction. In this lesson, you will learn how to use colors in Korean by applying the
히읗.
irregular. In addition, you will learn about the words
이렇다, 그렇다.
and
저렇다.
how the
히읗.
irregular can be applied to those words. Let's get started. Korean irregular.
Coréen color.
You learned all about the Korean irregulars in Lesson 7. On top of all of those irregulars, there is one more that you should be aware of. The reason I didn't include this irregular in Lesson 7 is because it is an irregular. Usually, if the last consonant of a word stem ends in, the word is not conjugated in any special way. For example,
좋다, 좋아 많다, 많아.
however, a lot of colors in Korean end with the final syllable.
히읗.
See the vocabulary list for a good list of these. When conjugating these words, which are adjectives, to allow them to describe an upcoming noun, we can add
는.
just like it is done with other adjectives. However, in some words, mostly colors, the
히읗.
gets dropped and
니은.
gets added directly to the word stem. For example, word plus.
는.
Word plus noun translation.
노랗다.
Yellow.
노란 공.
Yellow ball.
빨갛다.
Red.
빨간 공.
Red ball.
하얗다.
White.
하얀 공.
White ball.
까맣다.
Black.
까만 공.
Black ball.
파랗다.
Blue.
파란 공.
Blue ball. You can use those color words to describe objects in sentences where appropriate. For example,
저 노란 집이 예뻐요.
that yellow house is pretty.
빨간 사과는 가장 맛있어요.
Red apples are the most delicious.
그녀는 빨간 셔츠를 입고 있다.
She is wearing a red shirt.
나는 하얀 차를 사고 싶어.
I want to buy a white car.
저는 보통 까만 양복을 입어요.
I usually wear black suits.
파란 불이 제일 뜨거워요.
The blue flame is the hottest. If you want to use these words as nouns, as in, the color white or the color red, you can add
색,
after the adjective form of the color.
색.
means color.
노란색,
The color yellow.
빨간색,
The color red.
하얀색,
The color white.
까만색,
The color black.
파란색.
The color blue. Though these words are nouns, they are often placed before another noun to describe it. For example,
저 노란색 집이 예뻐요.
that yellow, colored, house is pretty.
그녀는 빨간색 셔츠를 입고 있어요.
She is wearing a red, colored, shirt.
나는 하얀색 차를 사고 싶어.
I want to buy a white, colored, car.
저는 보통 까만색 양복을 입어요.
I usually wear black, colored, suits.
파란색 불이 제일 뜨거워요.
The blue, colored, flame is the hottest. Here, each of these color nouns is describing an upcoming noun without being an adjective. This is a good time to teach you about another usage of the particle.
네.
Can be attached to words that commonly describe nouns, like adjectives, but are inherently not adjectives. What I mean by this is that you will often find words that are always or very commonly placed before nouns to describe them, but are technically classified as adverbs or nouns, and hence, don't end with
다.
like a typical adjective. It is acceptable to attach the particle
네.
to these adjective-like adverbs or nouns when they describe an upcoming noun. The meaning is the same when using
네.
or not using it, but in speech it is more common to not use it. For example, all of the above could be written as
저 노란색의 집이 예뻐요.
that yellow, colored, house is pretty.
그녀는 빨간색의 셔츠를 입고 있다.
She is wearing a red, colored, shirt.
나는 하얀색의 차를 사고 싶어.
I want to buy a white, colored, car.
저는 보통 까만색의 양복을 입어요.
I usually wear black, colored, suits.
파란색의 불이 제일 뜨거워요.
The blue, colored, flame is the hottest. Although acceptable and understandable, it would be slightly more natural to not use
네.
with these color words. Therefore, I didn't make audio recordings for the sentences above using
네.
in other situations with other, non-color, words. You will more commonly see
네.
attached to a noun or adverb being used to describe a noun. For example, a common word that
네.
is attached to is,
대부분.
which translates to most, just like in English,
대부분.
is usually placed immediately before a noun to say most. Noun, for example,
대부분 사람들.
most people,
대부분 부부들.
most couples,
대부분 독자들.
most readers. In each case, it is also possible to attach.
네.
For example,
대부분의 사람들.
most people,
대부분의 부부들.
most couples,
대부분의 독자들.
most readers. These constructions can now be used in sentences where appropriate. For example,
대부분의 사람들은 아침밥을 먹지 않아요.
most people don't eat breakfast, rice breakfast.
대부분 사람들은 아침밥을 먹지 않아요.
Most people don't eat breakfast, rice breakfast.
대부분의 부부들은 같은 침대에서 자요.
Most couples sleep in the same bed.
대부분 부부들은 같은 침대에서 자요.
Most couples sleep in the same bed.
대부분의 독자들은 그 작품을 안 좋아해요.
Most readers don't like that work.
대부분 독자들은 그 작품을 안 좋아해요.
Most readers don't like that work. Using
네.
here is in effect the same reason why we can attach
네.
to counters when placed before a noun, as you learned in lesson 10. To jog your memory, in that lesson I said it was acceptable to place a counter before a noun you are counting followed by the use of.
네.
For example,
나는 4개의 펜을 샀어.
I bought 4 pens.
나는 2개의 햄버거를 먹었어.
I ate 2 hamburgers.
나는 어제 5명의 친구를 만났어.
I met 5 friends yesterday. The number counter pairs in the above sentences are effectively describing the upcoming noun. Of course, the number counter pairs are not adjectives, so
네.
can be used. I dig deeper into the use of
네.
and specifically how it relates to,
적.
which was introduced in lesson 16. Later in the lesson, I want you to be aware of this usage of
네.
and how it can be attached to adverbs and nouns when describing an upcoming noun. However, the main purpose of this lesson is to talk about color words and the
hue,
irregular, so I will continue with that now. Often, the most common way to describe a color is to use a word that only exists as a noun and does not have an adjective form. For example, look at the following.
초록색,
The color, green.
연두색,
The color, light green.
보라색,
The color, purple.
분홍색,
The color, pink.
갈색,
The color, brown.
회색,
The color, gray. The above are all color words, but they do not have a respective adjective form, like
빨갛다,
and.
빨간색.
In order to use these words to describe the color of something, they can be placed immediately before a noun, naturally, without,
에,
and, slightly unnaturally, with,
에.
just as described earlier. For example,
저는 초록색의 펜으로 쓰고 싶어요.
I want to write this with a green pen.
연두색의 바지를 샀어요.
I bought green pants.
대부분의 여자들은 분홍색의 가방을 골랐어요.
Most girls chose the pink bag.
남자 친구가 보라색의 꽃 한 송이를 샀어요.
My boyfriend bought a bunch of purple flowers. When adding,
아어,
or any of its derivatives, to color words where the stem ends in, an irregular conjugation applies. For now, the only situation you know where you would add,
아어,
or a derivative like,
악업.
is when conjugating using the honorifics introduced in Lesson 6. Note that there are other times when you would have to add
아어,
to words, you just haven't learned about them yet. When adding
아어,
to these words, the
히읗,
is dropped and the final vowel changes to either
에,
or.
예,
If the final vowel is
아,
or,
달러,
it changes to,
에,
and if the final vowel is,
에이,
it changes to.
예,
For example, word plus,
아어,
word plus.
악어서 노랗다 노래 노래서 빨갛다 빨개 빨개서 하얗다 하얘 하얘서 까맣다 까매 까매서 파랗다 파래 파랬어.
Here are some of these used in sentences.
불이 노래요.
The light is yellow.
얼굴이 왜 빨개요?
Why is your face red?
유럽 사람의 피부는 하얘요.
European people's skin is white.
그 여자의 머리가 까매요.
That girl's hair is black.
저 남자의 눈이 진짜 파래요.
That man's eyes are really blue. In each case, it would also be acceptable to use the noun form of each of the words above and conjugate the sentence with.
이다.
For example,
불이 노란색이에요.
the light is, the color, yellow.
얼굴이 왜 빨간색이에요?
Why is your face, the color, red?
유럽 사람의 피부는 하얀색이에요.
European people's skin is, the color white.
그 여자의 머리가 까만색이에요.
That girl's hair is, the color, black.
저 남자의 눈이 진짜 파란색이에요.
That man's eyes are really, the color, blue. A more advanced Korean speaker or a Korean person could argue that the two sets of sentences are not completely identical. Their meanings and translations could be exactly the same, but they could have a slightly different nuance. For example,
얼굴이 왜 빨개요?
would be more about a face being red as a result of it blushing, whereas
얼굴이 왜 빨간색이에요?
would be more about a face that is actually red from something like paint. This nuance is very subtle and not something you need to worry about as a beginner. Even as an advanced learner, I find it very hard to articulate this difference into words. In a way, I find the difference between the two similar to why is your face red, and why is your face the color red. The words
이렇다, 그렇다,
and
저렇다,
are not colors, but they also follow the
히읗,
irregular. I will talk about those in the section below.
이렇다 그렇다 저렇다 이렇다, 그렇다,
And
저렇다.
are all adjectives. Each word is essentially the same, the only difference being the difference between
이, 그,
and.
저,
Remember the difference between these?
이,
Means this.
그,
Means that when you are referring to something in a previous sentence, for example, I went to Canada last week, At that time I forgot about my test that I had to write.
저,
Means that when something is far from you,
이렇다, 그렇다,
and
저렇다.
are very important and common in Korean, so let's look at them one by one.
이렇다, 이렇다.
Means like this, but, along with,
그렇다 and 저렇다.
is rarely used in its dictionary form. It is generally used in two ways, as an adjective and as an adverb. As an adjective,
이런,
by adding
는,
to the stem of,
이렇다,
we get,
이런,
which means this sort of, this kind of, this type of. For example,
이런 일은 위험하다.
this type of work is dangerous.
이런 차는 너무 커요.
This type of car is too big. As an adverb,
이렇게,
by adding
게,
to the stem of,
이렇다,
we get,
이렇게.
which means like this.
저는 이렇게 하고 싶어요.
I want to do it like this.
왜 이렇게 일찍 가요?
Why are you going so early, like this?
이 일은 왜 이렇게 어려워요?
Why is this so hard, like this? You'll notice that in the last two examples, the words like this in English don't necessarily need to be in the sentence. It is hard to fully explain in words, as this is something that you really just pick up after a while when learning Korean. When Korean people ask a why question, they often stress why by using.
이렇게,
Also notice the usage of
일,
in the sentence above, although the best translation of the word
일,
is work, in noun form. It is very common for Korean people to use
일,
to represent some sort of task or a thing that somebody has to do, regardless of if we would call it work in English. I am reluctant to show you the most common example of this being used because you haven't learned the grammar within it yet. Nonetheless, you will often see
저는 할 일이 있어요.
which translates to I have something to do. As of now, you haven't learned how
할,
is being used, but try to focus on the usage of
일,
in this sentence. The sentence is essentially saying I have a task that I will do. The sentence above could also be written as
이것은 왜 이렇게 어려워요? 그렇다,
now that you know about.
이렇다,
Learning about
그렇다,
is simple, like
이렇다, 그렇다.
is usually used as an adjective or an adverb. As an adjective,
그런,
by adding
는,
to the stem of,
그렇다,
we get,
그런.
which means that sort of, that kind of, that type of. For example,
저는 그런 사람을 믿지 않아요.
I don't trust that type of person, those types of people.
저는 그런 것을 좋아하지 않아요.
I don't like that type of thing. As an adverb,
그렇게,
by adding
게,
to the stem of,
그렇다,
we get,
그렇게.
which means like that.
저는 그렇게 생각하지 않아요.
I don't think like that.
저는 그렇게 운동하고 싶어요.
I want to exercise like that.
저렇다, 저렇다.
Can be used the same way as
이렇다,
and,
그렇다,
as,
저런,
and.
저렇게.
All you need to do is to keep in mind the differences between
이, 그,
and
저.
as an adjective.
저런 저는 저런 여자를 좋아하지 않아요.
I don't like that kind of girl.
저는 저런 차를 사고 싶어요.
I want to buy that type of car. As an adverb.
저렇게 아빠는 왜 저렇게 말하고 있어요?
Why is dad talking like that?
저 사람이 왜 저렇게 걸어요?
Why is that person walking like that? Just like our color words presented earlier in this lesson, when
아어,
or a derivative is added to
이렇다, 그렇다,
or
저렇다.
an irregular conjugation occurs. Let's look at this next.
이렇다, 그렇다,
And
저렇다.
as predicating words.
이렇다, 그렇다,
And
저렇다.
can also be used as the predicating word, that is the end of a sentence. These are usually only seen in relatively simple sentences asking or indicating if something is like this, like that. For example,
이 학교도 그렇지 않습니까?
is this school not like that as well?
네, 그렇습니다.
Yes, that is correct. That is the way it is. The most common way that you will see any of these words being used, especially for a beginner, is in the following form.
왜 이래? 왜 그래? 왜 저래?
Notice that the same
히읗.
irregular applies to the words above, that is, when adding,
아어.
or one of its derivatives, the
히읗.
is dropped and the
어.
changes to.
에.
In each case, the speaker is asking why are you like this that. This is very common in Korean conversation, as it essentially is like saying what's wrong, or what's the matter or what the are you doing.
그렇다.
Specifically is also commonly used by people to express their content agreement with some sort of statement or situation. For example, person 1.
내일 공원에 같이 가고 싶어요.
Do you want to go to the park together tomorrow? Person 2.
그래요. 같이 가요.
Sure, like that is fine. Let's go together. Person 1.
제가 지금 갈 거예요.
I'm going to go now. Person 2.
그래요.
Sure, like that is fine. Person 1.
저는 내일 회사에 못 가요.
Tomorrow, I can't come to work. Person 2.
그래요. 월요일에 봐요.
Sure, like that is fine. See you on Monday. In this same respect, it is often used as a question to express one's disbelief or shock. In reality, the speaker isn't actually shocked or in disbelief but is merely showing his/her interest in the conversation. This would be akin to using the word really, in English. For example, person 1.
저는 지난주에 캐나다에 있었어요.
I was in Canada last week. Person 2.
그래요? 어디에 갔어요?
Really, it's like that. Where did you go? Person 1.
나는 보통 고기를 안 먹어.
I usually don't eat meat. Person 2.
그래? 왜 안 먹어?
Really, it's like that. Why don't you eat it? Person 1.
이 물이 맛이 없어.
This water doesn't taste good. Person 2.
그래.
Really, it's like that. Many other grammatical principles can be added to
이렇다, 그렇다,
and,
저렇다.
but these haven't been introduced yet. Specifically, you will find that many grammatical principles can attach to
그렇다,
have their respective meaning combined with the meaning of.
그렇다.
These will all be introduced in future lessons, where the grammatical principle is introduced, but here is a quick taste of what I am referring to. I suggest browsing through this list just to get an idea of how versatile
그렇다,
is. B. The general meaning of.
그렇다.
C. How this meaning can be applied to many other grammatical principles. This list is by no means exhaustive, but rather a small taste of some of the concepts that you will be learning in the next 100 lessons or so.
그렇다 플러스
Introduced in Lesson 29.
그럼.
Yes, like that.
그렇다 플러스 는지.
Introduced in Lesson 30.
왜 그런지 몰라요.
I don't know why it is like that.
그렇다 플러스일 것 같다.
Introduced in Lesson 35.
그럴 것 같아요.
It is probably like that.
그렇다 플러스 나어서 인트로듀스트 레슨 37글에서.
It is like that. So, therefore.
그렇다 플러스기 때문에.
Introduced in Lesson 38.
그렇기 때문에.
It is like that. So, therefore.
그렇다 플러스 면.
Introduced in Lesson 43.
그러면.
If it is like that.
그렇다 플러스지만.
Introduced in Lesson 47.
그렇지만.
Even though it is like that.
그렇다 플러스 나었으면 좋겠다.
Introduced in Lesson 61.
그랬으면 좋겠다.
It would be nice if it is like that.
그렇다 플러스일까?
Introduced in Lesson 63.
그럴까?
Do you think it is like that?
그렇다 플러스는데.
Introduced in Lesson 76 and 77.
그런데.
It is like that. So.
그렇다 플러스 물결구나.
Introduced in Lesson 82.
그렇구나.
Oh, it is like that.
그렇다 플러스네요.
Introduced in Lesson 83.
그러네.
Oh, it is like that.
그렇다 플러스지죠.
Introduced in Lesson 93.
그렇죠.
Sure, yep, it is like that. At this point, I hope you can understand how
이렇다, 그렇다,
and
저렇다
can be used and their general meanings. In addition, I hope you can understand how color words can be used in sentences. Just below, I will continue the discussion of the use of
에,
and how it is used on words where
적,
is commonly attached. I have had some people ask me about the difference between using
에,
on a word to describe a noun, like,
흰색의 차,
and using
적,
on a word to describe a noun. The grammar below is a little bit advanced, but this is the lesson that it belongs in, as I am already discussing the purpose of
에,
attached to nouns or adverbs to describe an upcoming noun. It might be good to glimpse over this, and then come back to it later when you have a better understanding of Korean grammar. As you will recall from lesson 16,
적,
can be added to words to change them into a type of adjective as well. As I mentioned in lesson 16, the addition of
적,
to a noun causes the word to change a little bit. It's hard to say exactly how the word changes, because it is a little bit different for every word. The examples that are given in the lesson are
경제,
economy, economics,
경제적, 에코노미클 역사, 히스토리 역사적, 히스토리클 과학, 사이언스 과학적, 사이언티픽 충동,
Impulse diagonal choc.
충동적, 임펄시브 문화, 컬처 문화적, 컬처를 개인,
individual, personal.
개인적, 인더비주얼,
Some other examples that you might want to jot down, but not memorize at this point because they are quite advanced.
열정 이퀄 패션 열정적 이퀄 패셔닛 체계 이퀄 시스템 체계적 이퀄 시스터매틱 획일 이퀄 스탠다다이제이션 획일적 이퀄 스탠더다이즈드 세계 이퀄 월드 세계적 이퀄 글로벌.
Before I start, I want to first mention that the
에,
that we are talking about here is not the possessive particle that is discussed in lesson 3. Rather, it is a particle that is added to a word that is inherently not an adjective, but allows it to describe an upcoming noun, like an adjective. Most of the time, adding
적,
literally changes the translation of the word. As you can see in the list above, the word changes when
적,
is added. For example, from passion to passionate. However, translation of the word, as you can see in the list above, the word changes when
적,
is added. For example, from passion to passionate. However, when just
에,
is added to the word, the translation would not change, and using noun plus
에,
only makes sense if that word, the original word, can actually act as an adjective, without being an adjective. To begin with, the easiest examples to start with are ones that work with,
적,
but not with.
에,
For example,
열정,
means passion. I can say things like,
과학에 대한 학생의 열정은 놀라워요.
the student's passion for science is surprising. Left double quotation mark.
적,
Can be added to mean passionate. For example,
그는 열정적인 사람이다.
he is a passionate man. However, simply adding
에,
to the noun
열정,
does not change it from passion to passionate. The meaning still stays as passion. Using this in a sentence would yield,
그는 열정의 사람이다.
he is a passion man, which doesn't make sense. In the same way,
과학,
means science,
과학적,
means scientific,
과학의,
still means science. I can use
과학적,
to describe a noun that would be natural being described by scientific. For example,
과학적인 증거,
scientific proof. However,
과학의 증거,
literally translates to science proof, which wouldn't sound right. Now, just like everything in life, there are some exceptions. Specifically, the word
개인,
without the use of
적,
or
에,
actually means personal. Therefore, just like how the word
대부분의,
most isn't actually an adjective but feels like an adjective,
개인의,
can be placed before a noun to describe it. Left double quotation mark.
개인적,
Also works, as it also means personal. My advice is to learn words with
적,
as separate words. Don't try to think of words with
적,
as a noun followed by a grammatical principle, but try to think of them as their own words with their own translation. From what I can see, There are some words where the
적,
version of the word is the same as the non
적,
version of the word. In these cases, it appears that both
에,
and
적.
can be used. For more info, please visit howtostudykorean.com.